For far too long, women kept silent at their workplaces throughout the state and throughout this country. To speak about it would be unthinkable. The repercussions, the judgments, the retaliation from those in power. It was better to stay quiet and bear the unbearable than to lose your job. It could all be gone in an instant if you didn't stay quiet, if you complained. So women said nothing when more powerful men sexually harassed and degraded them, touched them in places they did not want to be touched, said humiliating things to them at their expense, demanded sex for opportunities, threatening them and denying them opportunities if they were spurned, making inappropriate calls during the day and night. And everyone pretended that such things never occurred. After all, boys will be boys. And if necessary, a quick low settlement, a confidentiality agreement, that'll resolve the dispute. So what's the problem? Well, ladies and gentlemen, those days are over. Thanks in part to the courage and bravery of two young women who, even before the Me Too movement began, refused to stay silent. And especially because of the commitment of two young attorneys who believed in their case, bet the farm on it, and tried it to an astounding verdict with punitive damages that sent an important message that this type of illegal conduct will not be tolerated. The record verdict for 2018 for this type of case plowed the field and led to other large verdicts in sexual harassment cases and demonstrated to employers and lawyers that women exposed to this type of inexcusable conduct deserved huge money damages. Now, it takes a certain type of chemistry in the courtroom to make magic happen. We all know that. And that magic began with Martin Aarons, who for over a dozen years was a solo practitioner who devoted himself to bringing sexual harassment cases on behalf of women. And then one day, he decided to take a chance and for the first time hire another attorney. And Shannon Ward applied for the job. Now, it was a gamble because Shannon Ward had just graduated from Pepperdine Law School, and she had been working for months on the defense side in medical malpractice cases for Denise Taylor. But he took a chance. She had 0 trials under her belt, but she was razor sharp and committed and eager, and she immersed herself into this case. Now, I also, like Casey, looked it up, and the Street Fighter of the Year award is typically given to a small practitioner firm that attained a significant result in a case that exemplifies the everyday struggles of the small practitioner in California. Let me tell you what this fearless firm did and overcame that exemplifies the very best of any practitioner, large or small, in this state. The two fought 3 different defendants and 3 different defense firms at different times. And these defendants gave them nothing in discovery. They didn't save or produce any relevant surveillance video, any documents, any emails, and no names of witnesses. So evidence and witnesses in this case had to be found the old-fashioned way, through grit, hard work, and determination. And Shannon Ward, through cold calling countless people, found 8 corroborating witnesses. And trial was continued 8 times by the defense. And when trial began, they tried it equally between the 2 of them. And it was the first trial that Shannon had as a lawyer. And if anyone wants to see a nice opening statement, I urge you to get a copy of her opening statement. And for the almost 5 weeks that they were in trial, their entire office, consisting of these 2 attorneys and an assistant, they were all in that courtroom, literally shutting down their practice during the day and then working at night to keep the practice going. And together they brought out this remarkable story of 2 women, very different, but both had grown up in the Temecula area and always wanted to work in the nearby winery. But both fell prey to the new general manager, who was fired after only 2.5 weeks there for outrageous behavior, and then was inexplicably rehired by management despite the many, many complaints from women who worked under and with him. Management chose to side with him instead of protecting the many women who complained. And for those that complained, including the plaintiffs, they were taken off the schedule, given no hours, and ultimately fired. Now, there were no economic damages in this case. There were no lost wages claimed because they had to get other jobs. There were no costs for medical care or treatment. Who had money for that? Just a clear conviction that what was done was wrong and that the plaintiffs were entitled to money damages for their anxiety, the utter fear and terror that literally froze their hearts whenever they saw him or heard him or felt his unwanted touch, the smell of wine on his breath, his threats of harm and even violence if they did not succumb, their humiliation, their loss of power, their vulnerability, their loss of sense of safety and self-worth. The jury was out for almost an hour, and when all was said and done, a total of $11 million was awarded. $5 million for non-economic damages and another $6 million for punitive damages. And because of Martin and Shannon's remarkable work, sexual harassment claims are taken more seriously, and this dynamic duo went on to win their next case, and Shannon was made a partner of the firm 5 months after this amazing verdict. So expect great things from them because they are the epitome of what the Street Fighters of the Year Award stands for, and they deserve this award. In my time left, can all of the Street Fighters of the Year candidates please stand and let's all thank them for their remarkable year.